You can do this. You can do this through formal ways or informal ways, learning these skills of ideation, of customer development, of business model validations, as well as really learning the mindset areas of resilience and creativity and opportunity recognition. And there's an area called change management, which is absolutely a skill that's required when you're looking at strategic entrepreneurship. So next slide. So strategic entrepreneurship can be defined as growth of a firm through disruption or innovation of its operations by employees formally trained in entrepreneurial mindset and competencies. And so that's a pretty straightforward definition. Hopefully that answers a lot of questions on what it is. Next slide. But who cares? Who cares about what I just talked about? You see Google's emblem up there, and you also see Keurig. Those are two companies that absolutely care about strategic entrepreneurship, are practitioners of strategic entrepreneurship. Google, with its 70-20-10 workforce policy, HR policy, enabled Gmail. We got Gmail because of an internal entrepreneurial program, if you will, where they allow employees to develop different areas, and we got Gmail from that. Keurig has a culture of innovation, continues to do that. The K-Cup was invented internally by the VP of product development there. Again, the culture of innovation that was Keurig, that still is Keurig, produced one of the most iconic products on the planet. And of course, Gmail, I think, is used by pretty much everybody. But we also care. Next slide. We care about strategic entrepreneurship too. So in 2018, the Close School went through a strategic planning process where we looked at our curriculum and we looked at what the jobs were going and we looked at what others were doing. And we said, how do we revise our curriculum to address the growing need for entrepreneurship in companies? And so out of the strategic planning process, we identified concentrations. And the concentrations were social entrepreneurship, new venture creation, and corporate entrepreneurship, also known as strategic entrepreneurship, right? And so in that curriculum, you have some examples of that out there on the slide. We have classes that we've identified that meet that corporate entrepreneurship area. You can learn more about our concentrations when you have that conversation with Mrs. Rita Burson, who was our senior academic advisor. I'm sure some of you have already met her. You will talk more when you are in your advising sessions with Mrs. Burson about these concentrations and where you would like to go. So again, we understood that. We have identified corporate entrepreneurship as an area of concentration that we hope some of you will be interested in learning more about. And we hope that today is going to be a great introduction to that learning. So with that said, let's talk about how we apply these strategic entrepreneurships. Let's gamify it. Professor Wilson, let's go.
All right, well, let's do it. So I mentioned earlier, how I teach is often what I teach. I'm always experimenting. So what you're going to see here today was an experiment at the beginning of this term where a group of students was challenged to take on the roles of specific kinds of entrepreneurs. And, if you look at any business, any industry, there is a battle going on, right? There's some incumbent player who's been very successful in that space. And there are startups out there trying to find new ways to deliver the value to that same group of customers and either steal market share or change the industry. So when you think about Airbnb disrupting and transforming the market around like renting hotel space, or Uber disrupting the way that you hail a cab, like those are just some examples. And you look at the flip side, corporations that haven't been as quick to innovate, like BlackBerry, like Kodak, like Blockbuster, these are companies that have either really kind of faded in terms of their presence in the market if they haven't gone completely under. So what we're going to do today is a simulation that really looks at that disruptors versus defenders scenario. One of the things you'll learn as you progress through the program at the Close School is that a lot of the same tools that startup entrepreneurs use are the same kinds of tools that corporate entrepreneurs use. And yet at the same time, there are different dynamics that they have to deal with. And so this simulation is just meant to demonstrate that a little bit. So here's how the game's going to work. Let me advance the slide here. So here's the game. You will be placed into a team, and you'll either be the disruptors or you'll be the defenders. So you will have the opportunity to play one of these roles. There are enough individuals here today, and we wanted to have smaller work teams. So there are going to be 2 disruptor teams and 2 defender teams, but you're all going to be working together within those groups. So the disruptor teams will both be working together, and the defender teams will be working together. And you will take on the role. You're going to be a startup entrepreneur trying to disrupt the industry, or you'll be the defender trying to save the industry. And I'll tell you more about that scenario momentarily, but let me first walk through how the game works. So each team will get 5 cards to play, and there are 5 rounds. So each round, you will have to choose which card you are going to play. And once you play that card, you cannot play it again. And the other team is going to be doing the same thing. So the disruptors, there are 2 work teams for disruptors, but the first thing, both teams are going to come together and say, okay, which of the 5 cards are we going to play? And then once you've chosen that card, there are 2 tasks, and each work team will take one of those tasks, and you'll have 10 minutes to complete it. Then based on the card you chose, how well it fits into an ideal sequence or an optimal sequence, and how it plays against the card the other team plays will all give you points in that round that will determine how well you've done. And there's also random chance. As with all things, timing sometimes favors the disruptors and timing sometimes favors the defenders. And every round there's an element of chance that you will have to contend with. So this is just an example of the card. This doesn't have the actual details, but it's showing you kind of what the values are for the card. So for the disruptors, the core activities of being a startup entrepreneur are ideation, coming up with new ideas, learning about customers, developing products, selling products, getting your name out there, building operational infrastructure, and establishing a business model that can be successful. And so each card is strong or weak in each or a combination of these areas. So you can see an example here, the point values are very strong in the sales and marketing one, but very weak in terms of product development and operational infrastructure. So part of the decision you're going to make is which card seems like the strongest play to make, depending on where you are in the game. So that's the first one. And just to show, defenders have a little bit different view of the world, though they have some of the same things as well. So defenders focus more on what's called product management. They already have existing products. They already have a platform, an established name. They're going to try to enhance those products and come up with new iterations of it. They're also going to do customer discovery, but they're going to try to protect their revenue streams. Sales and marketing, very important for defenders, just like it is for disruptors. But defenders always have to deal with internal politics. If you've talked to me very much about the topic of corporate entrepreneurship, I say if you liken in entrepreneurship to running a marathon, entrepreneurship or corporate entrepreneurship is like running that same marathon with a rope around your waist, dragging a grand piano behind you. That is internal politics. So there is definitely some interesting dynamics when you're a defender. But like disruptors, business model is important as well. So with each card, there's going to be a little bit of a scorecard that shows you what the point values are, and that should help you make a decision of which card to play in which sequence. And so the way it will work is you'll have these 5 cards, and you'll decide in each round which card you want to play, and how well you choose and how well you execute on it will then determine your points in the game. So first is get the optimal sequence. So you may be right on target, or you might be one off, 2 off, 3 off, 4 off. And that will have bearing on your score. The next thing is the face-off. The 2 cards play against each other in certain ways. So it may be that the one combination is an advantage to the disruptors, another to the defenders, or some of them are neutral, which means the 2 cards cancel. The next area and the last area is random chance. So using a random number generator, there will be a point advantage either to the disruptors or the defenders, or it will be neutral each round. And that's just like in business. Sometimes something will happen in business that will really turn the tide. A disruptor might really be knocked off their feet if another disruptor in that industry goes bankrupt and undermines confidence in that. A defender might be attacked, like a cybersecurity attack, because they're a big company, and that might play favorably towards a disruptor because the market may see them as more nimble, or they might get highlighted in a leading edge technology magazine or something like that. So those are the kinds of things that will tilt the random chance one direction or another. That's sort of what that represents. So I'm not going to go through these in details. You will have a card. You will receive the 5 cards from your student advisor. You'll see the game that we use in a full class. We do this over 5 weeks normally, and so there are usually 5 tasks, and each person takes a task to do it individually as their assignment. But in this case, we're going to have 2 tasks for each card, and the team, each team will take one of those tasks, so we'll be able to work together to do that. And so, as you can see here, sell to the max is all about, you're going to be building a product slick or announcing a webinar. There are a few tools, take a note of these right now, that are going to be very helpful to you. Some of you may be familiar with them and you may not, but they're easy to catch up on. The first one's called Canva, canva.com. If you were asked to create a product slick, you're going to want to jump into Canva. You're going to want to pull up a template, and you're going to just quickly drop in a few images, a few words. You're only going to have 8 to 10 minutes to do the exercises. So that's going to be one that you find useful in a lot of them. In some cases, you may want to draw something on a piece of paper and just show it. That's fine. You can, if you have a whiteboard or something like that, that's fine as well. The other technology, in one case for each team, there may be an opportunity to develop a website. So write down card.co, CAARD.co. That is a free and very simple to use website builder. You should be able to build a website in 5 minutes. So those are 2 technologies I'd recommend you think about using. You are always welcome to just draw something on a sketch on a piece of paper if you don't want to use a tool like that, but that might give you a little bit of a point advantage. So the cards for disruptors are sell to the max, customer love, makerspace, innovators extravaganza, and scale fast. For the defenders, your cards are customer love, rockstar PM, that's product manager, rockstar PM, backstory, corporate political science, and rinse and repeat. So those are the choices that you have to make. And now, finally, let's set the stage. For those of you who are designated as disruptors, I'm sorry, for those of you who are designated as defenders, you work for Facebook, and your job is to make Facebook cool again. And so you have your work cut out for you as defenders. You're going to be innovating within the organization of Facebook. So the industry is social media. Disruptors, you have a wide open space to do anything in the social media world that you think will be valuable and interesting and exciting to the market. So think about what TikTok did to Facebook, what Instagram did to Facebook, what Twitter did to Facebook. It's all, any kind of social media technology has the chance to take mind share away from incumbent players. And so that will be your challenge today. If you are a disruptor, to come up with something new. And if you're a defender, bring back Facebook. So that is our challenge for today. I am going to stop sharing. The logistics here are that you are all assigned to a team. Is either disruptor number 1, disruptor number 2, defender number 1, defender number 2. Both disruptor teams will go into the same room. You need to very quickly choose which card you're going to play, and then each of the 2 teams need to take one of the tasks and get started. You'll have 10 minutes. And the disruptors the same way. So both the disruptor teams in one room, both defender teams in the other room. Choose your card, choose your task, and then you'll get split into another breakout room with your task team. And then you will come back very quickly. A spokesperson will have 60 seconds to present what you did. The judges will go into a breakout room for just a few minutes, and you will get the score for that round. Are there any questions? So I will ask a representative from each team. We'll do one disruptor team, one defender team, then the other disruptor team, the other defender team. So we'll go back and forth. You will have 1 minute to present. And when the alarm goes off, your time is up. So disruptor team number 1, you get to go first, and your timer starts now.
Amanda.
Wait,
go
just
ahead.
who's the number 1? Who's number 1?
Disruptor team, right?
Yeah. So there's whoever did task number 1.
We were number 1. We were number 1.
Okay.
All right.
Whoever did task number 1. That's what I'm asking.
So Amanda,
reset.
go ahead with the cocktail sketch.
Okay, so we didn't get very far in the sketch, but it's investment social media. So you can trade crypto with your friends. There's a little button like my stocks, my payments, trade. It shows your balance at the top or whatever like payment method you're using. And then on the next side of the screen, like in the next window, like part, you can post stuff to like share with your friends. So there's like capture and share. And then you can also post things about the investments that you're doing. Your friends can see your investments, so you can help them out. Like share your what you're doing with your crypto. You can trade crypto with your friends. And you can also pay corporations, like you can use it as a payment in general, like how you use Venmo, how you use PayPal. And at the same time, it's also like Instagram. So it's like Venmo meets Instagram meets Robinhood.
That's awesome. Nice. Well done. And you're at time. So well done. Disruptor
Nice.
team 1. All right. So now, let's we got a round of applause here. All right. So one of the defender team that has the first task, you have an opportunity to respond with your task. So who's up? I'm going to hit start. Go.
Is that me?
No, I don't think it's the peer leaders. I think you're gonna have to share your screen though, and then one of the students is gonna have.
Yeah.
Also, could you give a 30-second tick?
Sure. I'll wave at you. I'm going to restart the clock here. So, all right, ready? Go.
Okay, I'll just do it. Okay, so Facebook. So with Facebook, we really want to get at what our features our users are using the most on our app. Newsfeed, groups, watch, streaming, marketplace, etc. We also want to get at what social media our users are using the most, whether it is Facebook or another platform. We also wanted to ask our users, what is your favorite feature of social media and why, from the option that they chose in the previous question. And we also wanted to get at their customer service experience with Facebook, 1 being very bad and 10 being very good. We also wanted to get some demographic questions and most importantly, their age, to see how old are our users and what's the average age. And one of our last questions was, what feature would you add to Facebook if you could and why? And what are some problems you have experienced using the interface so we can improve? One thing about Facebook is the personal connection, and we know that our users value that. So we just wanted to ask these questions.
Nice. Excellent. Nothing says, nothing shows customer love like getting information, learning about them. So that is a powerful tool for all of entrepreneurship. Really great work. That's awesome. All right. So the other disruptor team, who's up? So this will be the disruptor team with task number 2 on the makerspace card.
I think that's the group with Sydney, Matthew, and Kate. So Dylan, Jeremy, Noman, Samantha.
Yep. All right. I'm going to start the clock. So whoever's got it, jump in.
Anna, can you share your screen of our person?
I can share.
So different. That was the.
Oh, shoot. I said the wrong. Wait, which group of, we're doing Disruptors 2, right?
Disruptors 2. Yep. All
Yeah.
right. I'm resetting the clock. There we go.
So, all right. Sydney's
Yeah,
sharing.
Sydney's sharing.
Can you guys see that?
It's coming up.
It says has started screen sharing, but I don't see it.
I think my screen is frozen.
And either Dylan, Jeremy, Noman, or Samantha, feel free to jump in and explain.
If you need a minute, we could let the defenders go and then come back. Why don't we do that just to give you a minute to? Oh wait.
Oh, there we go.
There it goes. There it goes.
There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, so for our idea, we were kind of stuck on the Mad Lib part, but we had a general idea of what we're going to do. So we're going to think of an app or a social media platform that's more of a child-based audience, because I feel like children are more, like a TikTok kind of app has a lot of children that are able to gain like a big audience or platform for them. So rather than Facebook having more of an adult audience, we'd want more of a children audience, but we weren't sure like what specifically we're going to do with it.
Nice. And what will it do for them? Like, what's the value statement? All right.
I can basically we're just essentially creating like another platform where people can just show their creativity on there and like, you know, spread their life online. But we wanted to make something that was similar to, I guess, the concept of Instagram, since you can kind of say that's like Facebook just for a younger crowd, but add something that would make it different and that hasn't been done before, but we didn't get that far yet.
Okay, awesome. Good. Yeah. So the Mad Lib is a great tool for really determining customer value, or what they call the value proposition, because it's basically saying our, social media platform helps, young kids to communicate with their grandparents or share their artwork or, whatever so it's just a very simple way to just clarify what is the value. So that's a great example that you came up with. Awesome. All right, so the last one then are Defenders 2.
And that's Anna's group.
All right, nice.
Wait, okay. So this is our person, Lauren. This can be applied basically to any entrepreneur, but Lauren is an artist. She's been painting since she was 3 years old and got her BS for graphic design from Westfall. Basically, her aspiration is to have her own painting in the Louvre. And her experience, she's had her painting in the Philadelphia Art Museum. So her priority would be to sell now and sell fast and expand her network of other artists. And through Facebook, she'll be able to do that. They have a selling feature on Facebook where, you can put your art out there, or specifically Lauren can put her art out there and get other artists to see it and, network and connect with other young artists like herself.
That's awesome. So, this is what they call an avatar or a persona. It's just a great way to take, when you use a survey, like we saw the one group collect information with the survey, and you do interviews, talk to customers, you can build this persona that's a representative person that kind of gives you an idea of like a particular segment of customers. What do they love? What do they value? What are they passionate about? What are some of their experiences? And that can help when designing a product to think in terms of how would this person, use the product, or how would they gain value from it? So it's another really good tool for that. And great job. I love the visual and the description. That's excellent. All right. So judges, you have your work cut out for you. So what's going to happen is we're going to give the judges a really short clock, like maybe 2 minutes. And they're going to kind of make their assessment on the task work that you just showed, and then we'll be back, and then we'll be ready for round 2. So if Julia, if you can put Raj. Well, greetings and welcome to Disruptors and Defenders round 1, and we have a final decision on round 1. So let's dive in and take a look how everyone did. Take a look at how everyone did. So we have Disruptors versus Defenders. Here's what happened. The Disruptors led with the strong card maker space. That is the one where you get out there and start to develop new products. And the Defenders responded, showing their customers some love with the customer love card. So let's see what happens and the results of the week 1, round 1. So first, the defenders got the point from the judge's assessment of the assignments. It was a very difficult decision. It actually went down to a tie split. So really, really close. Definitely a great work on the part of both teams. Defenders edged it out just a little bit with showing their customers some love, with getting to know them through surveys and using their persona. In the second space had to do with the optimal sequence. And showing customer love early is one of the best things that defenders can do, because corporate entrepreneurs have this great opportunity to show their customers that they're valued and they already have a relationship with these. So once again, defenders get a +1 in the second category. However, in the face-off, the maker space beats customer love because the disruptors are creating new value and changing the market and creating some disruptions. So the disruptors get a +1. And finally, in the random chance category, the random number generator came up with a number 1, which aligns with disruptors. And so disruptors got a point in the random chance category. So when we go to the final tally for week 1, you see 2 victory points going to disruptors, 2 victory points going to defenders, and that takes us to a 5-5 split point-wise for round 1. So great work all the way around. This is just getting started. Both teams having great performance in this first week and ready to roll into week 2. So nicely done, both teams. Give yourselves a hand. All right, so now we move to round 2. Now, good news is now everybody knows what we're doing. So there were 5 cards to begin with. Now there are 4. As quickly as you can, make a selection of which card you're going to play, and then each of the 2 teams take a task and get started. When the timer starts, when Julia moves you to the room, it will be a 10-minute timer beginning to end. So the quicker you decide on the card and the tasks, the quicker you can get to work. But everybody did a great job in this round and can't wait to see what happens in round 2. So let's do it. All right, welcome back. So we got a couple rooms still coming in. All right, well, let's dive right in. We want to kind of start to move into a little bit of a rapid mode here. So we started with the disruptors last time. So this time we'll start with defenders. So the defender team that did activity number 1, you can go first. So who is that? And let me know, and I will hit the timer as soon as I know who it is. So defender number 1.
No, I think that's
Green.
So one of the incoming students, not the peer leaders.
Yeah. All right.
Noah can share a screen, but yes, incoming students.
All right, and go. 60 seconds on the board.
So we came up with 2 points. The first was creating excitement, where we divide our employees into different groups and have them compete for the same goal. And whichever team comes up with the best result would get a reward. And the other was cross-departmental collaboration, where we would hold events such as golf and bowling, have different departments intermingle with each other, and just come up with future ideas.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So building the culture and kind of trying to create that startup entrepreneurial culture within the company. That's excellent. Well done. All right. So first team for the disruptors. Who's up? All right, here we go.
I guess that's us.
There goes the clock. Go for it.
All right. So we created a survey to figure out, what the customers in the market would actually want out of an app. And we, came up with ideas about, what's missing from existing platforms. Like, what feature do you think across all platforms is not there? And, getting like age information and how often you use social media, how many hours a day, because that would be a great place to find whichever age group is on there the most, start with the marketing towards them, or since they'll be using it the most. And then also just, what do they not like about social media and why, primary uses for social media, and, what features do they like, and what existing platforms would they recommend to friends and families for use.
Excellent. Yep, definitely showing that customer love and getting to know the customers. Survey is a great way to do that, and that's right on target. So nicely done. All right, so Defender Team 2.
Okay, so we focused on the three top
we did like a whiteboard. So can someone pin me so you can see the masterpiece that I've made? It's horrible. I have horrible handwriting too, so I apologize.
All right, Gianna, are you going?
Okay, yeah. So first we focused on Mark Zuckerberg, who's obviously the CEO. We think he should be more personable and give him a user trial example, kind of tone down his ego a bit to have people think that he's not this corrupt guy anymore and start using the app possibly. Then we have Jeb Clevenger, who's the director, global head of media and digital marketing, and we think that she should work with celebrities, young influencers, and highlight people who can actually make a fortune in living from Facebook, because a lot of other apps do that. And then we have David Weiner, who's the CFO, who should be transparent on paying influencers and honestly advertise the payment that you can get from Facebook being an influencer, to kind of collaborate with Jed Clevenger.
Nice. All right, definitely playing the corporate political science card there and kind of identifying who key players and decision makers. Sometimes one of the challenges of the intrapreneur or the corporate entrepreneur is getting support and so having those key individuals like that are important. So really good job. Nicely done. All right, and the last disruptor team. Who's going to show us this one? All right, I'm about to start the clock. So somebody on Disruptor 2, go when you're ready.
So it's Sydney, Kate, Matt's group. So one of the students.
I guess I can share my screen. Yeah, just give me a second, sorry.
Awesome. Oh, you're muted.
Amanda, you're muted. Sorry.
This is Justin Andrews. He's 20. He's a finance major at Temple. He wants to help his friends with investing. So he uses this platform to share ideas and information with his friends. He is ambitious as he's part of the newer generation, taking over the market and social media, and he wants to keep this informal and not too serious. So it's a perfect way for him to bond and network with his friends through similar interests, as well as learn a little bit more about investing. So Justin, see, it's right there.
Nice. Excellent. All right, well done. So good persona. It's like identifying kind of characteristics, and particularly mindset, things that are interesting in the way that they think and the way they kind of feel affinity with others. So really good emphasis there. So nice job on the persona. All right, so judges, I hope you're ready. We got some really good plays here by both teams. So Julia, send us off and we will be right back. All right, drum roll. Here we go.
Do it.
All right, welcome back to Disruptors Be Defenders. We've had a really exciting second round, so let's take a look at what happened this time around. So here we go. All right, so in the play for the week, the Disruptors played the customer love card. Defenders discovered last week that's an excellent card to play, but the Defenders were bogged down a little bit in corporate political science, but starting to get their coalitions built and learning who the key influencers are as they start to innovate and take the company in a new direction. So definitely an exciting first round. The Defenders took the judges 2-1 in Defenders for the work output. So nicely done analyzing the company, building coalitions, and identifying who the key players were. In the sequence card, the Defenders played the optimal play for week 2, which is customer love. And so the Disruptors. So the Disruptors took a point for the optimal sequence. And Disruptors also took a point for the face-off. Customer love beats political science in this particular case. So giving the Disruptors an advantage so far. It comes down to random chance. This week, random chance came up with a number 2. That is a neutral play, which means it neither hurts nor helps either team. And so as a result, the victory points this week go with an emphasis or heavier towards the disruptors. So 2 went to the disruptors, 1 to the defenders. What that means in terms of the point split is that 4 split. Since the neutral random chance. So that's giving a little bit of an edge to the disruptors. Round 2, here's our standings. We now have 11 points for the disruptors, 9 for the defenders, just a 2-point edge lead there on the part of the disruptors. 3 weeks to go, 3 rounds to go, still anybody's game. So let's get back to it and see what happens in round 3. So this is the last round. It all comes down to this. So let's hear from the defenders first this time, kind of rotating back and forth there. So the first defender group, the first activity, whoever that is, can dive in and get us started. So go for it.
So that's Gia, Ina, Noah's group.
Can you turn on screen sharing for me? I'm not able to for some reason.
If it doesn't work, then I can share it.
Actually, I just realized that I think I said disruptor once and defenders once. So which group are you? Gia,
They're defenders.
Defenders. All right, go ahead. Defenders. Yep, go for it.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, perfect. Gia, is that Ina or Gia? Ina.
It's me.
Okay. So for this last round, we really wanted to focus on our marketing and sales because that's really what it's all about. So our whole focus is on the new normal, and we decided to create a blog with some potential topics. So our kind of umbrella topic is how society is adjusting and how Facebook is a big proponent in that adjustment. So one of our major focuses is Facebook rooms and how those can kind of make us all feel like we're in the same room through video calls without actually being there together. Another focus is on how marketplace is now one of the safest places to buy and sell goods for sellers of all kinds and vendors of all kinds. Another is our events feature, which makes it easier and more than ever to organize community gatherings in a safe way. Another is fundraising, so anyone can fundraise for their favorite cause. And the last is just kind of a topic that we really wanted to focus on the Facebook marketplace and how that's exploding. And we wanted to give some reasons why.
Awesome. Yeah, really good one. Love the blog idea. Well, that can be really powerful for an incumbent and a company that already has an established presence. You have a huge following, a huge audience. And so you have this opportunity to share thought leadership that can drive value. So great example. Nicely done. All right, so one of the disruptor teams. Disruptor team number 1.
Team number 1, give me a second.
All right.
All right, I couldn't get the colors done in time, but Amanda, when you're ready.
Nice.
Okay. So first, to start our company, we're going to need a CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and then they're just going to make sure everything runs smoothly, run over everyone. Underneath them, we've got our branches. We've got our CFO, our CTO, and our COO. So our finance, tech, and our operations. And then we have our marketing manager. So under the CFO, we're going to have our accounting team, finance, and then stock market analytics section. And then under the tech, we're just going to have our tech and our customer support, like our coding, everything like in tech for the app. And then under our operations, just to make sure everything runs smoothly, everything matches our company goals, we're going to have our ESG and our legal team. So to make sure we're like environmental, social, governance, we have all of that. So that's a big thing right now with companies. And also with investing, that's also a huge thing. And under marketing, we are going to have our advertising, and they're going to get us some partnerships and sponsors, make sure everyone we're known. That's a big thing.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, with a startup team, it's so important or with a startup, it's so important to have a great leadership team from the beginning, those that can each contribute something different to the organization, and that there's a clarity in terms of who's doing what and when. And it's important just for getting the product and the business off the ground. It's also really important for getting funding. So this is a really good work, just structuring for success. So nicely done. All right. So that brings us to Defender 2. Who do we have?
Oh, I can go.
All right, go.
Okay, so we were saying that the number one thing we should do as like a source of revenue is running ads through kids programs like PBS or Nickelodeon, since our app is more kid-based.
Yeah.
And then we were saying we could also invest in a team to run the app. And then we were also saying we could invest in the business through marketing, and then sell the app to more so to the parents than the kids, but the kids will consume the app.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I love that, because the nuance there is that the kid may be the user, but the parent is a strong influencer in whether they're permitted to get the app or use the app and those kinds of things. So it pulls that in, and that advertising is just such a powerful engine when it comes to monetizing a business. So having that strong base already with Facebook, and then being able to kind of build on that and do that in create that trusted platform is really powerful. So awesome, really good one. All right, good. So last one, the Disruptor 2. What do we have?
Okay, so basically we wanted to discuss how how to use like things I can use on Facebook and how they will like improve. So we got so you gotta scan the code basically. So so there also is niche groups, marketplace, newsfeed, reactions, comments, notifications, timeline, and messages. Those things are like very vital to Facebook. Like a lot of people use them, make sure you are able to like access everything and stuff.
Nice. So it almost sounds like you're almost going for like almost like a business engine kind of thing. Is that the idea?
So basically, since in the previous ones we have presented like focusing on businesses, we decided it would be the best to continue doing that. But like even through our utilizing tools, you can see that it's not just for businesses. But since we already presented on that, we decided just to continue doing so. Also, if you scan the QR code, you will be taken to your Facebook profile. Just as a side note.
Nice. Excellent. Good. So we got some really good plays this time. It is going to be a close decision for sure. So the judges will go away for just a few minutes, and we will get the final results. So nicely done, everyone. This is really awesome. Good.
Cool.
So do you want to move us off there?
Yeah. Very cool. Oh, I think you're muted.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
So very exciting finish. I can't wait to tell everybody what happened in round 3. This was awesome. So I'll talk more. Both teams, wow. I mean, talk about like going into the mix, doing what entrepreneurs do with no warning, very little time, really nicely done all the way around. So here's what happened. Disruptors came out with the scale fast card. So time to go big or go home. They want to grow the company, put the structure in place, put the leadership team in place, and really do the things needed to get the company off the ground and to make a presence in the market. Defenders, of course, taking that, several billion user base that they have and doing the rinse and the repeat and building on that platform and leveraging that platform to the max. So well done on both parts. The judges in a 3-0 decision went to the defenders. So defenders had a really nice comeback knowing that they were coming from behind. And we decided that a unanimous decision could be a 2-point gain for this round because it was of the shortened game. So nice job by the defenders kind of coming back from behind. Disruptors still got a point on random chance, but the really interesting thing here was both teams played the optimal card for sequence, and the face-off between the scale up and the between the two choices, so scale fast and rinse and repeat, were neutral. So it was almost an even heat in that regard. So even on sequence, even on face off, the 2-point gain on the part of the defenders gave an edge over the 1 point on random chance. That gives us a 4-6 week in favor of the defenders. And in the final standings, we end in a dead tie. So the defenders, disruptors played it great. Awesome ending. We would normally go into overtime if we had more time. And but this was a very exciting finish. Really great work all the way around. What I want to say with all of this, and let me stop sharing here for a minute. So you just caught a little glimpse of all the things that come up in this program. It's all about taking an entrepreneurial mindset and looking at things differently, understanding customers, using an experimental process to do iterative design and to take chances, take risks, not be afraid to fail. And whether you work for an existing company or whether you're a startup, the same market dynamics and the same competitive elements exist all the time. And so you got a little taste here of all the kinds of things you're going to be learning about in this program. And I am really impressed. Like everybody stepped up and did a great job, like taking what's usually done over weeks in just a few short minutes. So really, really great work. So applaud to everyone. Really nice job.
Great job. And for never working with each other, never meeting each other, to be able to jump into groups. That's impressive to me.
That's right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah, love the artifacts, love the graphics, love the blogs and the ideas. And just even seeing some real creativity. I mean, Facebook would do well to have this defenders team on their team, and this disruptors team is gonna do some great things. So nicely done. Any words from the judges, from Damien or Roger?
No, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was great to meet everybody, and thank you to all the peer leaders who joined today. Taking time from your summer break to join us today is really, really, really appreciated, and so thank you. And it's great to see everybody. Thank you for having your cameras on. We are super excited about this topic. Reach out to us. You have our contact information. Roger and Julia can provide that if you don't have that. Please ask us questions about strategic entrepreneurship. We'll answer them.
Awesome.
Yeah, I totally echo Damien. You guys are just incredible. And just the level of engagement and how quick-witted you were. And me and John were laughing earlier. We're like, this is entrepreneurship. Just going on the fly, switching rooms, asking questions. This is the life. So you guys are living it from day one, so welcome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I threw the YouTube channel up. If you'd like to see how this is actually playing out with one of the grad classes right now, you can check out the videos. There's a week by week recap out there it's happening in real time. So that's an actual event in play. They just finished week 3, and so there's going to be 2 more weeks. So tune into that if you're interested.